welcome. Today we're going to count down my favorite guitar pedals. So I'll start with my first guitar pedal that I bought. This is Super Fuzz by Behringer. I got this pedal because I watched this JHS video, and he's talking like a lot of good things about this pedal. And at the time, this is the only pedal that I could afford. And I used to think like pedals are crazy expensive. They start from like $100, maybe $200, and it's a bit too much for me, as a student and all. And this is just really affordable. I think it's like 20 or 30 bucks, somewhere around there. I forgot the exact price, but this is pretty amazing. I was expecting some Hendrix sort of fuzz tone out of this, but I did not get it because it's not made for that kind of circuit. I understood after buying this pedal that there are different types of circuits, and this is more for like alternative, 90s rock fuzz, desert rock. Is there such a thing? Like really psychedelic, kind of fuzzed out, intense. I can't really describe it without plugging it in. Maybe someday I'll do a shirt out video between this and the fuzz phase that I got. But amazing pedal, and I've gotten to love it. I've used it first in the band rehearsal with my band. We're playing Cream's Sunshine of My Love, and I convinced the bassist in my band to get one of these as well, and it sounds really good with the bass as well. If you turn the gain down, it just gives that kind of there's a kind of crunchiness. Just amazing. Lots of sounds in this, and there's like 3 kind of modes here. So you got the boost, you got the fuzz 1 and the fuzz 2, and they all sound pretty different, so that's a great deal. The downside to this is it's made of plastic, so if you wear boots or like you have like metal in your shoes, or you stomp really hard, you'll break this. But otherwise, it's a good pedal. It sounds great, and I'm proud to like have bought this pedal first. And I've kind of regret it as well, because this got me into the pedal buying rabbit hole. This just started my pedal gear acquisition syndrome episodes ever since. So this is the first, and I could have saved a lot of money if not for this. So thank you, but no thanks. And then, well, there are lots of pedals there. Which one should I talk about next? Okay, maybe this is actually my second pedal. I got 12 pedals here today. 12 pedals here today. I'm not gonna go through all my pedals. I have like 30 or 40 pedals, and maybe I'll make a part 2 to this video if you want. But I'm just gonna talk about 12 pedals today because I don't want to bore you or too much. So this is a tube screamer, and a mini tube screamer, and it's actually made in Japan, so that's pretty cool, from Ibanez. And what more can I say? I haven't tried all the 808s and like the TS9 and this one side by side, mainly because this is the only one that I could afford at the time. And the guy from the music store down the street where I live says this uses the same circuits as the TS808. The only difference between this and the TS808 is you can't put a battery in this, and this is smaller. Well, after having played a few TS808s, including an original one, I could say they are definitely different sonically, but I'm not sure which one's better, because better is a subjective kind of word. But this one sounds like, compared compared to another Tube Screamer I got, this is not my favorite, but it has more of an authentic sound, Tube Screamer sound to it than the other one I'm gonna talk about. And I used it a lot in my early playing days as well. So, I forgot to tell the story. So the reason I started buying pedals is because I formed a band, and in the past, all the way, like how I get effects is by plugging my guitar into my little Black Star amp, and they have like different modes, right? Crunch 1, Crunch 2, and then Lead 1, Lead 2, and like classic, bright and warm, and all those channels, and you can dial in the sound you like. But playing with a band, you can't just go and adjust your amp all the time. You need something to stomp on. So I got a bunch of stomp boxes for that. And I love the Tube Screamer circuit because, and this is like, if you want the classic Tube Screamer sound, this will get you really, really close. I like it because I'm a massive John Mayer, Stevie Ray Vaughan fan, and I have a few Strats as well. And plug this in, you're in Strat heaven, and that kind of compensates one of the what's the word, idiosyncrasies of the Strat guitar, because the Stratocaster doesn't have much mid-range. Traditionally, if you're using like a period correct pickups or like not specially voiced, traditionally they're quite mid-scooped single coil guitars, and what the Tube Screamer does is add that mid hump to the guitar. So as a Strat player, this just cuts through the mix all the time in a band setting. So whenever I have a solo in the early days, I just kick this on and then I'm good to solo. But since I'm talking about Tube Screamer, let's talk about my other Tube Screamer style pedal, which is one of my favorites as of now. So this one is, it's a bit far away. So is this. So the story behind this is pretty funny, and guitar players out there will be okay, can you see that? Okay, you can see that now. Okay, I'm just making sure it's not reflecting too much light because it's a metallic casing. So this is a way Huge Green Rhino Mark II guitar pedal, and it's based on the Tube Screamer, and it's not the latest model of the Green Rhino. The latest is Mark III. I haven't tried Mark III, so I could not compare Mark II with Mark III. But this pedal has this too little control here. So this is like the curve and the Hertz control. I don't really know what it does, but it gives you more control over the frequency range. So one of the main criticisms of the Tube Screamer is the mid hump. It sounds a bit unbalanced and unmusical in certain settings, and with these two switches you can just adjust the tone down to really precisely. So that's my favorite part about this pedal. So these two, you can adjust to your liking, and you can reduce the mid hump, and that to me sounds a bit better in certain settings. But that of course doesn't sound like a traditional Tube Screamer once you've made your own personalized adjustments, but it still has that classic Tube Screamer vibe, if it makes sense. And I also feel like this pedal has more of there's more gain on tap than the mini Tube Screamer. So this replaced the mini Tube Screamer, and that caused me to buy like another pedal board, because that's mini, I could just shove it in the corner or something, and this one is a huge pedal, so there's a downside, but that's alright because it sounds good, and yeah, I like things that sounds good, and that one sounds great as well. It's just I have more control with this, and I can personalize my sound a bit more compared with the Tube Screamer Mini. Okay, which pedal should I talk about next? Okay, this one. So this is one of the first expensive pedals that I've bought, and this is, I just bought it like a few weeks after it came out, so this is an early model. It's like the 120th one that they've made by Earthquaker Devices. This is called Astro Destiny. I got this because I wanted a reverb pedal, but I don't want a normal spring reverb pedal, because my thinking was I already got a reverb in my amp, which is a Hot Rod Deluxe cream binding, like cream colored version of a Hot Rod Deluxe. Really cool amp. We can talk about that someday, but they have those amps have a really good spring reverb, so I don't really need a traditional reverb pedal. So I wanted something really far out, and this one, you can see it got lots of modes here. Astral mode, shimmer mode, sub shimmer mode, what else? Cosmos, like lots of really crazy reverb pedal, and you can load your own presets by like pressing buttons. I don't really know how to do it. I haven't used the preset mode yet, because just by this, just the ones they have for you already sound so good. And after owning this for a few months, I haven't, or almost half a year, or maybe a year. Well, in the pandemic, time goes really quickly. But this pedal, really cool reverb sounds, and we wrote a song with my band just based on the black hole sucking sound that this reverb pedal can make, and it's called Take Me to Space because it sounds really spacey. We still haven't finished it though, but cool pedal, and the artwork is, I think, is gorgeous. I've read some review that says it's ugly, and I'm like, what? This is like the prettiest pedal I have. And I read online that the artist that drew this, I forgot the person's name, but they used to work at like Marvel, or they were drawing for Marvel comics. So I like this, which is cool, and it inspires you to just look at it. And the thing about Earthquaker pedals is, if you hold it in your hand, you can just feels a bit different. It feels special, so it just inspires you a bit more. Okay, next pedal. Right, let's talk about this one. So this is Source Audio Spectrum. Okay, you just got the lighting right. The Spectrum pedal. And when I went to the music store and looked for an envelope filter, I didn't anticipate buying this. I wanted the Electro Harmonics Qtron Plus, because that's what John Mayer uses in Dead & Company, and I'm a big Grateful Dead and Dead & Company, and also John Mayer solo stuff fan, and I wanted what he used to get that Dead & Company tone. But they don't have stock, and the guy says we have to wait maybe like a few months to get that in stock, and I'm like, I can't wait that long. I need to play Shakedown Street with my band. So I tried a bunch of other envelope filters, and this one just does it for me. And this is my first non-analog pedal, and I don't want to say digital pedal because no one says that, do they? I'm not sure, but this is run on algorithms, so you can plug it into a computer and tweak all the little EQ and all the response stuff, which I don't really do because I'm not good at that stuff. But just the Tron mode I'm on that all the time because I wanted a Qtron, 70s, late 70s Jerry Garcia tone. Just go on there and then tweak a bit, and on most settings it's a really friendly pedal. Some envelope filters you have to tweak a long time to get a usable sound, but this one is just fun all the way. I highly recommend this. So this Source Audio Spectrum pedal, and it's purple, and I think the graphic design again is good. Okay, speaking of purple, let's go on to another purple pedal. So this is something different. This is a Boss BF2 Flanger Pedal, and this is a vintage. I think it's from the mid or early 80s. Not sure. Sometime in the 80s. So Boss made these, and these are analog. I think the ones that are made now are not analog, and I wanted one of these. Originally, I was looking for a CE2 chorus pedal, but the prices for those recently got jacked up quite a lot. I'm not sure why. Maybe some famous guitarists used them or something, and they just got really expensive all of a sudden. I looked at the Reverb.com like price, just like from the beginning of this year, just jumps up maybe 175%, and I don't want to go for that. And then I found this Flanger pedal, and on every Robert Smith The Cure record, he just uses that a lot. And maybe I think this is Robert Smith's favorite guitar pedal, and I've always been a big fan of The Cure, and I wanted to get that guitar tone so bad. And so I got this vintage, made in Japan, BF2 Flanger pedal. And Prince, I forgot about Prince. How could I forgot about Prince? No one forgets about Prince. Prince uses that a lot as well. And if you look at the 80s or 90s Prince pedal board, he just used all Boss pedal. And I've hunched that this is Prince's favorite pedal as well, because he uses flangers a lot. That's the first point. But the second point, more importantly, he's like the purple one. So, and this is a purple pedal, and it just sounds great. And yeah, there's not much to be said about this pedal. If you can find one of the Japan ones, because I don't think they make BF2s anymore. Highly underrated pedal, and you can get lots and lots of classic 80s pop and rock sounds out of this, and I just love it. Okay, next pedal. Wow. So my first guitar pedal is the Behringer Fuzz, right? And this is my second fuzz pedal. It's a Fuzz Phase by Jim Dunlop. Sorry, I can't pronounce Dunlop, I think. And this is a mini Fuzz Phase. And this is the Band of Gypsies Fuzz Phase. So, Band of Gypsies is a Jimi Hendrix album based on a performance at the like New Year's Eve at the Fillmore. Like the last few dates of like late December 1969, I think. If my rock history is wrong, please correct me in the comments. But the Band of Gypsies, released in 1970, it's recorded sometime in late December 1969 in the Fillmore in New York. And this is a recreation of one of Jimmy's fuzz faces, because back in the days, those transistors, germanium transistors, they're really unstable, and according to the temperature or some really small variance in the components, they sound quite different from fuzz face to fuzz face. So this one is based on the one that Jimmy used on the Band of Gypsy live record. And I'm a huge Jimi Hendrix fan, so I got this because this is the Band of Gypsies edition, and also in the box there's a huge Jimi Hendrix portrait, and more importantly because it sounds really good as well. I'm now on the hunt for an Eric Johnson fuzz face, the really big ones, because I really like Eric Johnson's as well, but I couldn't find it at a reasonable price. So let me know if you know anyone who wants to let their Eric Johnson fuzz face go. But anyway, can't recommend this pedal enough. Just looking at it, I just want to plug it in, rip out some like Hendrix tune. Maybe you guys know Isabella or Isabella, I think. One of the most underrated Hendrix tunes. Anyway, great pedal. Right, something spicy. So this is the latest addition to my collection. I bought this from Anderton's because only they sell it, I think, or you can order it from the Snouse official website, which I've been on the wait list since early this year, and I still haven't gotten an email back. And as soon as I realized Anderton's have them in stock, I snatched them the moment I see them say in stock. Now I'm like, yes, I need to go get it. So this is by Snouse Electric Company. It's called the Black Box Overdrive 2, and this is the like a mod version. I think they call it the Stage Pro mod. That's the reason why you have these switches here, which allows you to switch into different circuits and stuff, which is kind of complicated, but they explain it in the menu really well. And for the other version, you can do that switches as well, but you kind of have to open the pedal up and like do it within the circuit board, which I am inclined not to. I don't want to open pedals and like open guitars and all that stuff. I don't like doing that stuff. Every time I do that, I just mess things up and I have to buy another one or send stuff back to repair. So I like the switches on the outside. That's just me. But back on the pedal, Black Box is made by Snouse, as I said, and it's based on the Blues Breaker circuit. And I don't have a Blues Breaker by Marshall from the early 90s. I haven't played it, but according to everything I've read or seen on YouTube, this one goes really close to the original Black Box. And Chris Buck, I think my favorite guitarist ever, hands down, but one of my favorite guitarists. In one of his videos, he says this is one of his favorite pedals and the closest to the original Marshall Blues Breaker. As soon as he said that, I'm like, I need this pedal. So I have it, and I can't recommend this enough. Really cool sounds, and especially with the Stratocaster, it's just have a really special kind of tone out of this. This ped with the Stratocaster, just magic. This with the Les Paul, it still sounds good, but it sounds like a Les Paul with the like a mid to low gain Marshall combo. But with the Strat and this one, something really magical happens. I can't really describe it without playing it for you guys, but yeah, this one is great. Well, on the subject of transparent overdrive, this is my next pedal. Oh, I gotta get the lighting right. This is Tumnus Deluxe by Wampler Pedals. So Brian Wampler is one of the great pedal builders of our time, and this is his take on the Clone Overdrive. And some of you might know the Clone pedal is just a meme now because it's so expensive, and over the past few years it's just got more and more expensive exponentially. So now I think it's almost like 7,000, maybe a bit more, I'm not sure. So I won't get that even if I'm really rich, I don't think. Well, maybe I would one day. But this one satisfy most of my clone needs, and yeah, and it got an metric EQ there as well, which I found really useful. And again, this pedal, when you pick it up, it just feels really special. And this kind of faded gold is my favorite color. So yeah, when I look at it, I want to plug it in and stomp on it and play my guitar. I wish I could plug in right now, but maybe next time. Okay, 3 more pedals to go. This is a Strymon Flint pedal, and this is a double tremolo and reverb pedal. And yeah, like both sides sounds really great. The reverb one, I think someone asked John Mayer on Twitter which is the best Fender style reverb pedal that he knows. He says the Strymon Flint, and he's right. On the 60s mode, it just sounds like a blackface Fender kind of reverb, and it's so good. And the 80s mode is my personal favorite, the whole reverb. It just recreates all those classic sounds. And the tremolo, although I don't use it much, I should, because it sounds really good. I'm a big fan of the Smiths, and when I use the tremolo mode here, I could get really close to the How Soon Is Now intro. And also there's a song called One Headlight by the Wallflowers, which is fronted by Jacob Dylan, and the opening guitar riff or guitar chord progression of the song has a touch of tremolo to it, and this one could get really close to that tone as well. And yeah, just a flawless guitar pedal, I think. Really love this, the Strymon Flint. And I got this second hand at a steal price. Second hand, so it's not as expensive as the original price, the new one. I didn't have a box, I just got this, but it works, and it sounds great. Why not? Strymon Flint. I should use this more. Yeah. And it's on Gary Clark Jr.'s pedal board as well. I was watching his rig rundown the other day. Great pedal. And then this one. This is my second or third pedal, I think. This is what got me into the boutique pedal market. And this is by JHS, and it's one of their affordable JHS series. And before that, I just have Behringer, and I think I have one Joel pedal, which is not here now, but yeah. This one is the first boutique quote pedal that I have bought, and it just sounds really great. I still uses it for slap delay. I just put the time mix quite low, so it's almost inaudible, but I could get a really subtle slap back tone out of it. But you can use more, you can do more with this pedal. And again, when you hold it in your hand, just feel it's something special. I think that's as important as the sound itself. sometimes. These pedals are about inspiration rather as much as it's about the sound you want to create. That's what I think about guitar pedals. Just things that prompts you to practice and prompts you to perform and makes it more enjoyable when you jam with other people. Okay, last pedal, which is a bit far away. Okay, this one is the latest, but not the latest, one of the latest additions to my pedal board. And this is the heart and soul of my pedal board. So this is the Line 6, what's it called? HX Stomp XL. Look, I still got the sticker here. And yeah, it's the most expensive pedal I have, but it's also the most powerful. Because I realize as I'm in a band, the more songs, the more covers I need to play, more sounds I need. And I look at my bank account and I think I can't keep going buying these pedals. It's unsustainable. And there's so many types of pedals that you can get. And this one kind of just solves that problem, because any weird effects that you might want to get, this one has it in this library, and it does need some kind of tweaking for it to sound really good, but it's worth it. And yeah, the reverb and the modulation here are really good, and the Leslie speaker effect in this one is one of my favorites. I use it a lot. And yeah, I got this one because to perform on stage, more buttons is better. So I could just bring this to a gig and nothing else. If I'm playing with some other bands and I don't want to bring a big pedal board in, this one, I can just plug this in. It got all the effects and it got the amp simulation as well. So if the venue, they don't have an amp, you just plug this in and this straight to the PA. I have a guitar and an amp and pedal board. Well, I do need a guitar and this, and that's everything I need. So it's incredible. One thing though is when you hold this up, it's not like one of those boutique, really pretty guitar pedals. When I pick those up, I'm like, I want to play this, and I pick this up. This is a really great tool. That's how I feel about it. And yeah, I guess I could customize the graphic here a bit, and maybe like draw something here, or put a skin on it, make it gold or red or something. But yeah, other than that, it's one of my favorite gear, and one of the most useful gear that I've acquired. Anyway, so that's my pedal, my favorite pedals, part 1 maybe. Maybe I would make a part 2 in the near future. So that's 12 of my favorite pedals. I hope you enjoy this, and if you did, please like and subscribe. I can't believe I said that again. And yeah, and I'm getting a professional camera and a setup, lighting setup. I'm working on that, so next week or maybe the week after, the production value of these videos will just be much greater, I hope. And also, I have something to say. I'm not sure what what my channel is gonna be about yet. I think I'm gonna keep doing ASMRs, and I'm not sure if these are legit ASMRs as well. I don't have like tickling sound or anything. I just talk quietly about my favorite gear. But I think I'm gonna keep doing that for a while. I'm also gonna upload some, guitar, songwriting, music performance related content as well. And I'm not sure what my target people are, but if you're watching this, tell me who you are, what you like to do, you know, what's your favorite songs? Do you play the guitar or other instruments? That sort of stuff. Just get to know each other. And yeah. Thanks for watching my second YouTube video, and I'll see you next week.